Hey guys, how are we doing today? And welcome back to another episode of the automation campaign. The 10th episode. We've hit double digits. Yeah, so what are we going to do in this episode? So in this episode we're going to do a new model of the Regale, which is the stupidly expensive variant of our car. And we might have a look at making a new sports car, if not probably more likely a van, because the sports car has been losing us money, but really the Sposter's been losing us even more money, but we'll have to see. So let's go to car project. So we've been using this body, which has been a really good body to us, so we're going to go with family premium. And yeah, let's have a look at what we can use. So I wanted to use, I believe, this 2.8 meter long body. Yeah, because we've got this little tiny. We used the 2.4 meter long body for the. Where is it? This 2.4 meter long body for the cheap variant. This 2.6 meter long variant for the middle class vehicle, and now we're going to use the 2.8 meter long variant for the premium vehicle. So we're going to go steel aluminium, steel monocoque steel for this car. I would like to invest in better panels or better materials in the future, but we're gonna have to stick with this for now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this a front longitudinal engine, just to give the car something to something to talk about. So I'm going to choose an existing engine, and we're going to use the 1.8 liter. Do we want to use the turbo? Let's use the normal variant for now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to develop a new V6 or an inline 6 for the more premium vehicles, depending on how our cars sell. So I think these engines will be enough, because what we're going to do is the 1.8 litre will be the small engines, the 1.8 litre turbo will be the sort of middle engine, and the V6 will be our sort of a halo, a sort of big engine, the engine that everybody wants to have, really. So we're going to limit this car to 200 miles an hour, 200 kilometers an hour. Open diff, we're going to have rear-wheel drive manual transmission for this car. We're going to have radio long life. We're going to do, I think, 185s all round. I think that'll be. I mean, it's a very big car, so I don't know, but I mean, we'll see how it looks once it's done. We're going to go with, I think, steel rims to keep it a bit more. I don't know. Maybe we might go with aluminium rims. We're going to go with solid discs all round, and we're going to have nice big brakes on the front, sort of maybe not as big brakes on the back. We won't need that much brakes on the back, that big of a brake on the back. We're going to have a fully clad undertray. We're going to have a premium interior with a premium cassette, and I am tempted to make this a 4-seat, but we'll have to see how that looks. We're going to have variable hydraulic, ABS, advanced AT safety, progressive springs, gas monotube dampers. I don't think we want to go adaptive just yet because the amount it costs, but right now we are looking pretty good. I mean, it's actually, it's not worth the adaptive springs, but I mean the brakes are already looking like they're in a good place, so we're going to make the fronts do more, we're going to make the rears do less. So I think we're going to go 320mm on the front, 290s on the back, and we're going to, there you go, we'll bring the pad type down a little bit, make the rear brakes a little bit smaller. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked more, but I think it's because the car is so cheap right now, so let's see what we can do. I mean, we can do a luxury interior and a luxury cassette player, but I don't think that's worth it for this car. So yeah, let's have a look. So we can increase quality on the steering, they always love that. Hybrid pneumatic suspension is just way too much for us. I mean, I'll tune the suspension afterwards. It'll be one of those big things that we're going to save on, make competitiveness on. So let's have a look. So gears, they're fine. I mean, like I said, this is the cheap variant of the car, so this isn't supposed to be anything special. I mean, it does still come as standard with a 5-speed transmission. and we're going to have a nice overdrive gear and a top speed of 210, I think, because the estimated top speed is 200, so if we have a nice overdrive gear, we should be able to make something good out of it. Let's have a look, because, I mean, we would like better chassis panels, but they don't particularly want that. I mean, we could go with a different frame. Actually, we got partial aluminium now, which will be the future for pretty much all the cars we make, but we might as well go double wishbone all round. Or do we... Let's go McPherson strut double wishbone on the back. I think that'll be fine. So... do we want to go with a better chassis material? So we'll need a galvanization plant and steel presses, and for this we'll just need steel presses, but it takes a lot longer to make them. So which one is realistically better? I mean, this one has a much... Let's go with the corrosion resistant steel. It'll be more expensive, but it'll be worth it. So let's head over to suspension. First of all, we're going to have to tune some understeer into it. So we're going to have to do a positive... Oh, that makes sense. Why has it done that? Why is it given... It's given us negative 13 camber. Quite interested to see how that looks, actually. So... suspension-wise, we're looking alright. I mean, it's very difficult to tune the suspension on a car like this. Because... I mean, it's a rear-wheel drive car. I mean, I reckon a front-wheel drive car would have done better. But... I mean, it is what it is, so... let's give it slightly less rear anti-roll bar, slightly more on the front. Actually, they don't want as much on the front. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do now, like always, I am going to tune the car, I'm going to design the car, and then, yeah, I'll be back with you guys once I have finished that. So, I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so here we are, designing our very expensive, well, not very expensive, our premium family vehicle. It'll be around 15 to 17,000 I want it to be, because I mean we've got sort of the $10,000 segment set, we've got the cheaper $6,000 to $7,000 segment set. We just need something a bit more expensive now, and I feel like this will be the car to push us into that sort of more expensive premium realm. Now, designing this, it was pretty much just copy what the other cars have done, just make it look a bit nicer, and I think it turned out relatively decent. I would like to apologize, by the way. I have fallen ill once again. I'm not feeling too great, which, I mean, you may be able to hear it, but I'm trying my best not to make it obvious. So yeah, no, it was fun making this car. I will be with you guys after the time lapse is done, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so here we have it. Our premium, well, not quite luxury vehicle, but premium, our premium car, we'll call it. It'll be more expensive than our two other cars on this chassis. So, but yeah, I think it turned out alright. I didn't spend too long designing it. I basically just took the design of the other cars and made it a bit, I wouldn't say more glamorous, but more professional. So so I managed to also get the score to about almost 150. I mean, it is the best I could get it. There's probably some other things I could have changed just to get it a bit more interesting, but it was a bit of a difficult situation. So we're going to stick with this for now. I'll produce the turbo. So we have the turbo. And we're going to produce a V6. I think we'll go with a V6. I mean, we already have a V6, but I'm going to make a new one because facelifting that old one, it's not going to be worth it. And I don't think many companies in the real world do that either. Taking an engine that used to be a part of their lineup and then 20 years later putting it back into one of their cars, but a bit more modernized. So yeah, we're going to put the turbo into this one. I think for the facelift of this vehicle, we're going to facelift the engines as well, if not even creating a whole new engine lineup. And yeah, let's have a look at gears. So the gears, we're definitely going to have wheel spin. So let's. Oh, it has a nice top speed though, so we'll increase that a little bit. So we'll have a little bit of overdrive, a little bit. I think that'll be fine. Then bring in the gearing. Oh, there's the wheel spin. Comes very quickly. Right, there you go. Just over 10 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometer time. So that's alright. Brakes off for fade. That's alright. I'm not going to be too bothered about that. How bad is it? 5%. I mean, it's just drivability. That's the problem. That's what we're focusing on. I mean, we're going to put some bigger brakes in the front. And brake fade's almost completely gone. I mean, it's not supposed to be a sporty car. So yeah, so we have the turbo. And let's produce a V6 engine. So I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I reckon we could do something nice with this engine. I know it'll be a bit more heavy than the other engines, but let's start a new project. But I think it'll work out, because I mean, the only thing that might cause a problem is that we will need to create a new engine factory or repurpose an old engine factory. But if we produce a few different variants of this engine, then it should be alright. So we'll do a 3.6 litre to begin with, I'd say. There you go, 3.6 litre dual over. Let's do quad cam. I mean, we haven't got, I think this will be the first engine with a quad cam dual overhead configuration here. So we'll do cast iron everything, and we're going to go with the that one, Happy Eutectic, or however you say it. We'll do what's an 8.0 compression, a cam profile of about 34, which is just above normal. We're not going to turbo this engine because, I mean, we might turbo in the future, but not now. And we'll do single point ejection, standard intake. Regular fuel. I don't really want to go for premium fuel just yet. We'll go with premium fuel once it becomes a more viable option. We'll go with short cast headers. We'll go with a high flow 3-way catalytic converter. I think that'll be the first cat we'll have on our cars. So we'll do reverse flow and baffled, and it's looking alright. I mean, it's knocking a little bit, which sucks. So we're gonna have to reduce compression yet again. But if we increase cam profile a bit, we should be able to also work some of that out. But what's really annoying is that our engine's quite stressed, so let's have a see what we can do here. I mean, the best thing we could do is increasing quality, but does it really do all that much? I mean, I think what we're going to do is take away some quality on the cam profiling, because it doesn't necessarily affect the engine too much, and we're going to increase fuel. And we're going to increase the quality on the fuel and the quality on the exhaust, which means we can now increase our... Oh, is it knocking? Dampness are hard, wheel spin, engine's knocking. Yes, it's knocking. It shouldn't be knocking anymore. There we go. So this is looking alright. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this. It's just a decent looking V6 engine. So let's have a look at what it sounds like. That's alright. I did notice though. Yeah, look, we can get a lot more power out of this engine. Jeez. That's a lot of power. I think we're going to be happy around about there. We can increase compression again to the 8.0 that I had it at before. And yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, we could also just do that, in which case we'll also have a little bit more fuel efficiency on the engine. I mean, it's not going to be an efficient engine. It's not designed to be an efficient engine. But this looks alright. This is an engine I'm happy with. So, I mean, this will be the... Well, that'll be a 3.6 litre. I mean, let's go back and we'll clone the variant and we will produce a... Let's do a 3 litre. So we'll just we'll signify as a 30 so I know which one's which. And we'll do a 3 litre variant of this engine as well. So let's have a look. So what we're going to do is we're going to the bottom end. We're going to... I mean, we could theoretically just make this a really stroke heavy engine. But I don't particularly want to do that, so... Oh, yeah. Let's do 90 on the stroke and bring this down to 85, and then we'll do 88.1. That's a 3 litre in my book. So the engine's knocking, which I mean I was sort of expecting, and we're going to increase cam profile by 1, I think. Has that changed anything? Yep, it's now stopped. It's now stopped knocking, which is perfect, and I think the engine is... Wait, the engine wasn't knocking in the first place. Why is it... Very interesting. Okay, so we got 19% fuel efficiency out of this engine now, and it's... I mean, it produces a little less power, but that's fine. So we got the 30 in here, so what is this? This is a V6... It's an injector engine, so V6i for injection, and we'll do A30 for the 3 litre, and then we'll do naturally aspirated injection eco. I don't know, it's just the name. It's just how I like to name things. It's because the what you call it, Opel or many other car companies have letters designated to what the engine actually does. I like to follow that sort of pattern. So this is the first variant of the 3 litre engine. It's a naturally aspirated injection engine that's quite economical. So that's how I like to name the engines. I mean, why is it knocking? Engine! Why are you knocking? Why do you have to knock? I mean, I could just take away one of these. That's fine. So we got the 3 litre in here, and I think we're going... This is going to be our super premium version, so we're going to have an automatic 4-speed that goes up to about this speed. 260 kilometers an hour. We'll limit it at 240, and we're going to make the first gear super long because otherwise we're going to have a lot of wheel spin, and they do not like that. Although in practice, when I'm using really high geared cars in BeamNG, you really have to use an automatic transmission, otherwise you just can't get the car rolling. So I mean, bigger brakes again. Oh, really big brakes. So we're going to have to do around about that. What's it saying? So rear dampeners are soft. Brakes suffer from fade, which is fine. Service costs are high. That's fine. I mean, dampeners... I mean, this is supposed to be a comfortable car. I don't think people... let's leave it like that. So this is a V6 naturally aspirated V6 engine, which produces more power than our 1.8 liter turbo, which is a good thing. We want to keep it that way. So we've got the 30, which uses our new engine, and Regale factory. So let's go through here. I mean, wait, what do we need? We needed steel presses for our must contain a car. Yes, we're going to put all 3 cars into here, and we're going to be producing a decent amount of each. Is there anything I realistically need? I mean, we want to put staff facilities on here, maintenance, and QA testing. I think that's how we want to do it. So let's have a see. So yeah, I think we're going to keep it like this. I don't really want to produce too many of these cars. I mean, we already got the maximum sized factory we can for this plot. So what the best we could do is probably just increase automation, which also reduces heavily how much it costs to make our cars. So that's perfect. So let's have a go at seeing about the engine. So I know the 4-liter engine, 4-cylinder engine already has a factory, so we don't need to worry about that a single bit. We'll come back to this in a second. It's the V6 which I'm kind of worried about, but I think we do have a spare factory. So we've got this one engine which is completely out of date, this engine which we're currently using, and oh no, it was an inline 6 engine, so the inline 6 engine is also completely out of date. So we'll use the inline 6 engine factory to produce this car. I mean, I think the Razzo is using the 1.6 liter, the 6-cylinder. I mean, not 1.6 liter. What's this variant one? Oh, that's the, I forgot to name it. That's the 3.6 liter variant. So how many engines do we want to produce? I think a lot, don't we? I mean, I think the factory is a little bit small for these engines, so we'll do a level 3 medium factory, and I think we're going to be happy with that. So now that we have both engines, so we want to have a bit more reliability in the engine, slight optimization, and make it a bit more manual in the building process. Is this just for the engine? What engine takes this long to make? Oh no. Gonna have to do heavy work and heavy speed on this. We'll do 72 months, but that's still, what, 6 years? Until this engine comes out? It'll be 1990 when this engine comes out. Oh dear. I mean, we could probably work with that. I mean, how long does it take to make this? So we have 72 months to make this car, which, I mean, we're going to make the engine, we're going to make the car reliable as well. And yeah, we'll optimize it a little bit, do a bit more manual work onto it, and then yeah, we're going to make sure the car releases in 72 months. Oh, we might need to put some more money into this, so I don't think they're going to like it that I've put so much pressure onto working on this car, but it has to be this way. So like I said, I want this, well, I don't know whether I said it, but I want this car to be around 15 to 18,000. So we'll start with 15,000 for the base 1.8 liter variant. We'll do let's do 15.8 for the time being for the turbo variant, and we'll do 17,000 for the V6 variant. Yeah, we're making money, which is, I mean, it's sort of expect at this point that we're making this much money. It never used to be this way, but I mean, it is what it is. So let's try and optimize the pricing a little bit so that people actually want to buy this car. But I'm pretty happy with the way that it's looking right around about now. So 2.4 billion in total. I mean, that's fine. We're not producing a stupid amount of cars, but the 4-cylinder engine's being overworked. So the factory for the 4-cylinder engine. I don't think we're going to take out a loan for this. 800 million should be fine, considering that the other 2 cars will have entered production and she'll be making money. So yeah, we've now got 3 cars waiting for us. So 1 car is releasing really late into 1990, and the other 2 cars are now releasing early to mid 1988. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to immediately focus on rebuilding the Sposter. So what we're going to do is we're going to, because engineering time takes a lot now that we've got a lot of technologies. So, oh, it's chugging a lot. What's the problem? Engine Factory 3 has an issue, so 7 million for a full recall. I mean, we'll just do this. Full recall. It's the safe way of doing it, so let's wait until the Sposter. This Sposter has come onto the market, and I think we're immediately just going to replace it. I'm not really happy with the way that this car turned out. I mean, let's have a, well, not replace it immediately, but let's have a look what other bodies we can use to maybe make a van. Because in the end of the day, we just want a decent vehicle. So let's have a look here. I mean, we should have some bodies. Well, this body, and yeah, we're sort of, I mean, we got this body, but let's just stick with the body we have. So I think what we're going to do is facelift the Sposter to look more like our vehicles right now, and then we'll focus on the replacement. Okay, so here we have it, our previous generation of this car, and yeah, so let's have a look at what we can do to actually improve this. So we can do standard AT safety, which we definitely want to do. The delivery segment love this vehicle now, so that's a great start. We're going to, do we need power steering? Do we really need it? Cars lack of weight, power steering. I mean, it's a comfort, so we'll do it. We'll do it for the facelift. Suspension we're not going to tweak at all. I mean, there isn't really all that much we can do, is there? So, I mean, we've put power steering on, suspension's alright, safety has been increased. Do we want ABS? No. I mean, we can increase the quality on the steering a little bit, but I think the main way we're going to update this car is just by changing it visually, so let's get into that. Alright, so here we are redesigning our Sposter. I'm not going to do a huge redesign of this vehicle. I'm just going to do the front of it to make it look more in line with the rest of the company. And I feel like it turned out alright. I mean, it's just a van. It's not supposed to be anything special, so I mean, design-wise, it looks alright. I'm happy with it. And I mean, we'll just have to wait and see if it sells. I mean, we do have an incredible history with our vans selling, so yeah, I'll see you guys once the time lapse is done. Okay, so here we have it, the facelifted variant of the Sposter, and honestly I'm quite happy with the way that this turned out. It looks relatively similar to the cars that we already have. I mean, I only did the front. I decided to leave the back and everything because, I mean, it's just a minor facelift to keep because this vehicle is, in the end of the day, just there to help people deliver things. So we're going to have this, and we're going to have the Grandee, and this is just simply going to be a passenger fleet variant with lots of seats in it. So let's go to the body, choose this, there you go, everything's going to go crazy, and then for seats we're just going to smack in all the seats. So now we can target family premium, and yeah, it's all working out alright, I think. Brakes are a little on the softer side. I mean, it's not that bad. Do they prefer... No, we're going to keep the gearbox the same, because it turns out that the... what you call it? The delivery segment prefer it when they have a really short gear ratio, because it means they can get away easier, I'd say. But yeah, so we're going to keep it like this. Vehicle looks alright. So we're just going to put it into production, and yeah, we should hopefully see some positive numbers. So we're going to use the factory for this vehicle again, and I don't think we're going to change much. We can up the tooling quality a little bit. That'll be cool. So because we aren't in the end of the day going to be selling all too many of these. I mean, this is fine. It'll take 26 months until the vehicle releases. The engine doesn't have a facelift. We will, yeah, we will do a 7,000 and 7,500 price for this vehicle. I think that should be fine. So, I mean, we should probably bring the price down a little bit for the extra seats, but it's fine like this. I'm happy with the way this is looking, so yeah. Let's put the vehicle up for sale. We don't need a loan. It's only 122 million for the facelift of this vehicle, and there you go. We've got all these different vehicles now releasing, which is absolutely awesome. So yeah, I think next episode we're going to have a think about if we want to redo the Razzo, or if we want to add a different type of car to our lineup. If there's any kinds of cars you would like to see added to the lineup of the company, do feel free to leave a comment. I will be looking at those very regularly. And yeah, it was fun making this episode for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much, guys. Take care.